Krishna, thank you very much, Gayatri Mataji and Prasadeshwar Prabhu. And a very um, wonderful evening. Wishing you all a wonderful evening today to all the Prabhus and Matajis who have joined here. Thank you all so much for joining today. So, the topic for today is the art of parenting. As parents, I'm sure most of us are in the journey of our lives. We will encounter parenting as a very important aspect of our lives. You may be very young, unmarried, so you are a parent in waiting. So you are a parent in waiting. Some may be already having children. So currently you may be parents, or some of you may have passed through the phase of parenting. Probably your grandparents now. So whatever it is like all of us have to go through this phase of parenting in life. It is like saying, somebody said, how would you define a Hindu? And somebody said, a Hindu is a person who's either has not yet gone to Tirumala, or is planning to go to Tirumala, or is in Tirumala, or has had darshan of Balaji and come back, from Tirumala. So they said that, you know, some devotee of Balaji, he defined a Hindu like that. So similarly, we are all either parents in waiting, or currently parents, or retired parents. So we all want good qualities in our children, whatever we are, whether we are currently parents or we are parents in waiting. When we have children, we want good qualities in our children. We want our children to be disciplined. We want them to be respectful towards elders and in people in general. We want them to be gentle. We want them to be focused, free of distractions, especially in today's day and age. We want them to be focused. We want them to be humble, maybe, right? So we want all kinds of virtuous, good qualities in our children. And we know that most problems arise from bad qualities. So bad qualities, bad association. So that is what leads them astray from the path of virtue, and then takes them out of what they are capable of doing, what potentially they have that potential, but then they are not able to reach that potential because of getting waylaid by some other distractions. They are not able to focus. And primarily, it is because of bad association and bad qualities, development of bad qualities, especially the qualities that are the pillars of all other vices are, you can say, kama, krodha, moha. You might have heard about this. Kama or raga. We can also say raga or kama. Kama means desire. Raga means attachment. So you can say either raga or kama, or dvesha or krodha. Dvesha means same, envy or anger, krodha, anger towards somebody. This is a second pillar of vices, and the third one is moha or illusion. Now, if you look at each of these, if you take, if you have to take one personality as an example, somebody who, because of raga or kama, who from a very elevated position, how much ever elevated their position is, but then they were pulled down because of this, because of raga or kama. A very good example is Ajamila. So even though we may have developed, we may have culture, given the culture, cultivated our children in a proper manner, but then just by the association of that one vice, one bad quality, raga or kama, Ajamila fell down, just like Ajamila fell down from a very exalted position. A similar thing could happen to our children also by improper association. So Ajamila, just because he came in touch with a prostitute, that too, not physically, he just saw her, and then he was born as a Brahmana in a very, very exalted Brahmana family. His father was a very well situated Brahmana. He was a very well situated young boy, though. He was married, he had children, he was taking care of his parents. From that position, just because of visual association, by looking at a prostitute, he fell from that position. And because of that, all other kinds of bad habits and vices, he started embracing them. Right? So he chased away his parents initially, then he abandoned his wife and children, and then he took that prostitute into his house, and then he led a life of a debauchee after that. So, that is a kind of a foundational, this raga or kama is a foundational vice. The second I said is a pillar of bad qualities is dvesha or krodha. Ashwathama, another young personality, comes from a very exalted family, the son of Dronacharya, Acharya Drona, who is the disciple of Parashuram, right? And Brihaspati, such an exalted lineage. But then from there, he fell down again because of bad association with Duryodhana. And unnecessarily, he developed Dvesha towards the Pandavas because Duryodhana was like that. So Ashwatthama also is a very good example of a personality who, by bad association and specifically this aspect, cultivating this aspect of Krodha or Dvesha, he fell down from his exalted position and went down to the extent of killing a child in the womb, in the mother's womb. He shot a Brahmastra to kill Parikshit Maharaj when he was in his mother's womb, Mother Uttara's womb. He tried to kill the child. So low he fell. And then moha is illusion, is where a person basically considers something that is not true to be reality, something which is untrue to be true. Now, that is moha. One of the biggest mohas in life. Actually, you might have all heard about this incident between Yudhishthir Maharaj and the Yaksha in Mahabharata. There is a segment in Vanaparva when they are in the forest and during the Vanavas. And one day, the five Pandavas and Draupadi, they had walked a long distance and all of them were feeling extremely thirsty. So Yudhishthir Maharaj told everybody, okay, let's rest here. This was in a place called Kamyavan in Vrindavan. And he said, let's rest here. Let's look for a water body. Then at a distance in the forest, he could see some birds flying. So he told Sahadev is the youngest. So he told Sahadeva, it looks like there are some birds there. That means definitely there must be a water body there. So why don't you go there and see if some water is available? We all are thirsty. We would like to drink some water first, quench our thirst. So Sahadev went, and then after a long time, he didn't return. So Yudhishthira Maharaj was wondering why has he not returned. Then he sent Nakula in search of Sahadev and to see if water was there. Nakula also didn't return. Then he sent Arjuna. Then he sent Bhima. None of them returned. And finally, Yudhishthir Maharaj himself asked Draupadi to wait at the same place. He said, I will only go and see what has happened to my brothers. So he'll go, and then there would be a lake. And on the shore of the lake, all his four brothers would be lying dead. So Yudhishthir Maharaj will be stunned. He'll be thinking about this, but then he'll think, okay, first let me quench my thirst because I'm extremely thirsty. So he would be about to cup his palms and take a little water and drink. He'll hear a booming voice from within the forest. And the voice would say, stop, dear king, all your brothers were killed by me because they did not follow my instructions. I am the owner of this lake, and if you want to drink this water, you have to answer the questions that I ask you. So Yudhishthir Maharaj immediately calculated that, okay, this must be a very powerful person. If he can kill my brothers who are all Maharathis, then he must not be an ordinary person. So let me heed to whatever he is saying, to his instructions. So he very humbly, he would say, okay, my dear, actually that voice would say, I'm a yaksha. So he would say, Yudhishthir Maharaj will tell, okay, no problem, my dear yaksha. So you please ask your questions. I will answer your questions. So a very beautiful conversation takes place, and that is recorded in Vanaparva of Mahabharata as a Yaksha Prashna portion. Yaksha Prashna, the questions that were asked by Yaksha, and very beautiful answers were given by Yudhishthir Maharaj. So one of the questions that the Yaksha asks is, which is the most incredible or amazing or wondrous thing in this world? Which is the most wonderful thing in this world? And Yudhishthir Maharaj will tell, Ahanyahani Bhutani Gachantiha Yamalayam. Ahanyahani, that means day after day, Bhutani means living entities, Gachantiha Yamalayam. Yamalaya means the alaya or the house of Yama, which is basically death. So, Gachanti means to go. So, day after day, people are seeing their relatives, their near and dear ones, their friends, their family members, people around them. Day after day, they hear about people dying and going to the Alaya of Yama. Gachantiha Yamalayam. But how do they behave? Shesha Sthavaram Ichanti. But Shesha means those who are remaining. Those people are dying and going. But the people who are remaining, Sthavaram Ichanti, they believe and act as if they are going to remain here forever. They act as if they are going to live here forever, right? So even though we know death is right around the corner, not many years, probably we'll live for another 40, 50, 60 years. That's it, right? Right around the corner. But then you look at our activities, we act as if we are going to stay here for all the time. So Shesha Sthavaram Ichanti Kim Ascharyam Atah Param. So Yudhishthir Maharaj asks, what is a more Ascharyavat cheese? What can be more wonderful, amazing than this? Right? So this is called moha. Now, why I am talking about all these things? Primarily, the reason for the development of bad qualities in anybody, I'm not saying our children, someone else, in anybody, is these three: raga or kama, dvesha or krodha, and moha. Right? So now I said we all want good qualities in our children. Now, if we want to develop good qualities in our children, there are two considerations. Your duty as a parent is only to ensure that your child becomes not an IITian, not getting H1B visa. Anyway, now H1B visa is very, very expensive. Not to go to America, not to go to England, not to even gain academic laurels. Apart from all of those things, yes, they are very important, but then the most important aspect is to make your child a wonderful human being. That means a person with sufficient good qualities. That is your primary goal. That is what the Shastras say. Now, to make your child like this, there are two considerations. Good qualities are always a result of two things. The first thing is knowledge. The second thing is sattva guna. The first thing is knowledge. If you see in the past, in the Vedic times, a knowledgeable person was considered based on the qualities of that person, the good qualities or the virtues that that person had. If a person had more good qualities, then that person was considered to be well educated or learned. For example, Chanakya Pandit 2500 years ago, he gave a yardstick for the measurement of a learned person. So he says, Ya pashyati sah panditaha. Ya pashyati, one who has vision like this. Saha, he or she can be considered a learned person. Panditaha. And he gives three measurements, yardsticks for gauging how much of a pandita that person is. Three measurement gauges he gives. The first one he says, Matruvat paradareshu. Dara means wife. Paradara means someone else's wife. Matruvat means like one's own mother for a man, or father for a woman. So to be able to look at someone's wife, someone else's wife, as one's mother, this is a primary quality of a learned person, according to Chanakya Pandit. And Prabhupada quotes this time and again. Second quality that he talks about is Paradravyeshu Loshtravat. Dravya means possessions. Paradravya means someone else's possessions. Loshtravat means like garbage on the street. I don't care for someone's garbage on the street. Nobody cares. It's garbage, garbage. It's useless, useless for him, useless for him, useless for me. I don't care for garbage. Like that, I don't care for someone else's possessions. Whatever it may be. Someone else's, I don't care. So, paradravyeshu loshtravat. That is the second quality. Or second, the third one is para atmavat sarva bhuteshu. Bhuteshu means living entities. Sarva bhuteshu means all living entities. Atmavat means like one's own self, like oneself. So, one who has a vision of looking at can can they be muted? Somebody is talking in between. Yeah. So, Atmavat Sarva Bhuteshu, the ability of a person to look at all other living entities as oneself, this is a third quality of a learned person. So, Chanakya Pandit says, Yap Pashyati, one who has vision like this, to look at someone else's wife as his mother, to look at someone else's possessions as garbage on the street, to look at all other living entities as oneself. These qualities make a learned person. When previously I was speaking to all the devotees here, I mentioned that Krishna also talks similarly. In the Bhagavad Gita, he says in the 13th chapter, 8th to 12th verses, 5 verses, he lists down all these virtuous qualities, good qualities, amanitvam, adambitvam, humility, pridelessness, non-violence, satisfaction, honesty, or truthfulness. Like this, all these qualities he lists, and then he says, Etad jnanam. He says these good qualities are considered to be jnana. Etad jnanam iti proktam ajnanam yad ato anyatha. These good qualities are considered to be knowledge. Beyond these, everything else is ignorance. Why I said your goal is to only look at how many virtuous qualities you are able to train your child in. It is because Krishna himself tells that knowledge means good qualities. Somebody has these virtuous qualities, that person is considered to be learned or knowledgeable. He is a jnani, right? This is what Krishna also says. So good qualities come from knowledge. By the acquisition of knowledge, these good qualities have to come in automatically. So we can gauge where our academic education, school education stands. Academic education is to make a living, to earn money, to support my family, to engage in an occupation, right? To make a life, knowledge given in the Vedic literatures are very important. What is important? Make a living or make a life, right? So both are essential, but what is more important? If we have to force comparison, we have to engage in a forced comparison, then making a life is more important. Today, very, very learned people also sometimes commit abominable activities, right? Very learned people divorce their spouses. Very learned people engage in immoral activities. The reason is because they have not been taught how to cultivate these good qualities. That means their parents failed them. Now, there was an incident where a young man, maybe in his 20s, so he was caught on something, caught for something, some theft or something like that, and then he was sentenced to death. So the government, I mean, the prison functionaries, they asked him, okay, do you have any last wishes? So he said, I want to meet my mother. They said, oh, even though he's a criminal, such a wonderful son he is, he wants to meet his mother as his last wish. So they brought an old lady, elderly lady, they brought his mother. As soon as she entered his prison cell, he started beating her up like anything. And later, the prison functionaries, they had to come and pull the lady off and take him away from her. So they asked him, "Hey, why did you beat up your mother?" The mother also asked, "Why are you beating me?" So he said, "If you had brought me up properly, if you had taught me what is right and what is wrong very early in life, then I would have not been in this situation. You are responsible for the situation that I am in." This is what the prisoner, the criminal, told. So, good qualities. Yes, I appreciate all of you as parents. You are sending your children to school to cultivate knowledge. That's a different kind of knowledge. Like I said, it's to make a living. But then, where are we giving this knowledge to make a life? To know, to discriminate, discern, and decide what is right, what is wrong in a given circumstance. Where are we equipping them with all of these? Right? So it is very important that we give the right kind of knowledge so they develop those good qualities. So good qualities is a result of knowledge, one. Second, good qualities are a result of sattva guna. I don't even have to explain this. We know there are three modes: sattva guna, rajoguna, tamoguna. Sattva guna means mode of goodness, rajoguna means mode of passion, tamoguna means mode of ignorance. So, in the mode of ignorance, people are mad, indolent, sleepy, lazy, right? They are like that. In the mode of passion, too much activity, but too much hankering and too much lamentation. Hankering for things that I don't have, and lamenting for things that I have had and I have lost, right? So we keep oscillating between these two things: hankering, lamentation, hankering, lamentation, bhoga, tyaga, bhoga, tyaga. Therefore, we also oscillate between happiness, distress, happiness, distress. But Krishna says, samatvam yoga muchyate. Like, a pendulum oscillating from one end to the other. This is not how we should be. You want to be in a state where your yoga means being connected to the supreme. Samatvam, you have to be in a state of equilibrium or equanimity where you are undisturbed by the vagaries of this material world, by the extremes of this world. I'm not drawn, something good happens, yeah, I'm happy, but then I'm not overly elated that I lose my composure. Similarly, something bad happens, I don't become completely depressed and desolate. No, so I'm not torn between these two extremes. So in Sattva Guna, only this state of Samatvam can be experienced. So Sattva Guna, all those good qualities can be developed only in Sattva Guna because they are natural result of Sattva Guna. Discipline, respect, gentleness, focus, all of these things are result of Sattva Guna. So now, and the interesting thing is now the development of knowledge and the development of Sattva Guna is actually a blessing from the Lord. They are a result of the Lord's mercy. So your function as a parent, we'll backtrack and see. Okay, your function as a parent is to train your child in good qualities. Now, to give them good qualities, you'll have to give them the right kind of knowledge and then bring them to Sattva Guna. Now, knowledge and Sattva Guna are a result of connecting them to the Lord, to bhakti, to devotional service. So, unless you connect your children to the Lord, knowledge and Sattva Guna will not arise, because of which good qualities will not arise, because of which you have not done your duty as a parent. So, Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita Knowledge is a result of his mercy. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. Satata yuktanam, always connected to me. He bhajatam, worships me. Priti purvakam, with love. He engages in my devotional activities, being always connected to me. Tesham satata yuktana bhajatam priti purvakam. Then, if somebody is connected like that, what does the Lord do? Dadami buddhi yogam tam. Then I give him very, very high class, high levels of knowledge. Buddhi. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. I give this knowledge. Yena mam upayantite. So Krishna is telling a person who is connected to him in bhakti, in love, that person, he inspires sitting within as the Paramatma, he reveals that knowledge to such a person. Right? Even in the Bhagavatam, it is said, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. Prayojana. What is the result of Vasudeve Bhagavati? Bhagavan Vasudeva Bhakti Yoga. What is the result of engaging in Bhakti Yoga of Bhagavan Vasudeva? Prayojita, Prayojana. What is the result? What is the objective? Not the objective. What is the result? Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. Janayatyasu Vairagyam Jnanam Chadat Ahaitukam. A general sense of detachment, not oscillating between the extremes. And Jnanam, knowledge, is a result of bhakti. You may think that I'm force fitting all of these things. Absolutely not. This is how things work. Right? So it is by being connected very intimately with Krishna. That is how we can, our true potential. No, our true potential is full knowledge, complete knowledge. That can be acquired only by being connected with the Lord. That is your primary duty. Connect your child to Krishna. And then you will see the transformation of the child's life. Now, I said Sattva Guna is a result of being connected to the Lord or as a mercy of the Lord. Krishna tells again in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita has answers for everything. Mam chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. So he is telling one who's engaged in bhakti yoga, avyabhicharini bhakti. Vyabhicharini, vyabhichara means like prostitution. Huh? In Tamil they say vibachari. Okay, so vyabhicharini means fallen. Vibachari, a prostitute is somebody who's fallen in character. Like that, avyabhicharini bhakti means infallible bhakti. Mam chayo, one who's engaging in infallible bhakti. Mam chayo avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan. The three gunas that we were talking about, sagunan samatityetan. That person transcends the lower modes of material nature, of the mode of ignorance, mode of passion, and Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. And he becomes situated in Brahman. What is the state of Brahman? Prasanna. Always joyful, happy, not morose. Okay. So, your primary duty, the art of parenting, culminates, if we have to backtrack again, I'm reiterating whatever I told. So, the art of parenting. Parent means you have to go train them in good qualities. Good qualities means they arise from knowledge and sattva guna. Knowledge and sattva guna means they come from the Lord. Connection with the Lord. By the Lord's mercy, we acquire. So now if we keep coming back, work backwards. So as a parent, what are you supposed to do fundamentally? You are supposed to engage your child in spiritual activities. This is the primary responsibility of a parent. In fact, Prabhupada says, children who are born in devotee families, like, all your good cells, in devotee families, they are not ordinary children. He says they are Vaikunta children. They are kids who have already, they are fallen yogis. That means they have performed bhakti in the past. They have been in spiritual life in the past. And to complete their journey, they have taken birth in your families because you are connected to bhakti. Now, if we do not, Prabhupada is saying this, if we do not facilitate, they are going back to Godhead. They are getting liberation, mukti. We do not facilitate that. He says, I will not say you, I am also a parent. We are responsible for that. We will be held responsible for that. So, to train all your children in these wonderful aspects of culture, of knowledge, of skills, devotional skills, and other skills, and the right kinds of ethics, morals, values, behavior, we have come up with a wonderful program. I'm sure Prabhu would have spoken, or maybe will be talking to all of you regarding that. I just want to run you through this program quickly so that you are aware of what we are planning. Prasadeshwar Prabhu, is that okay? Can I do that?
Yes, Prabhu, please.
Quickly, okay.
Please.
So, by virtue of having spent a lot of time with children, I'm, like Mataji was saying, I'm a software engineer by profession. It has nothing to do with what I'm doing currently. I actually, very early in life, 25 years ago, I joined, not 25, more than that actually. I joined ISKCON at that time in Bangalore as a brahmachari. So I was in the ashram for 5 years wearing saffron, shaven head, shika, and all that. The very first project after my initial 1 year of brahmacharya training, the first project that I was given was, for some reason, I don't know why my mentors saw that, they gave me a children's related project. And since that time, this is from the year 2001, I've been constantly in children's activities and youth development activities. This has been my life. And this, I hope, will be my life also. I want to die teaching children. So this is basically what I've been doing. So by virtue of that, they say, if a donkey has been in one adobe guard for a long time, it will know where grass grows, like that. By virtue of having spent so much time with children, I have been able to develop a framework for training them, right? So this program, we call it as Veda, or Values Enabled Development Accelerator. We want to accelerate the development of our children, and this is backed by values education, development of values, good qualities, virtues, like that. So this is a structured program. So primarily what we try to do here, why the name harmonics, is because uh, we want to bring in harmony between the four dimensions of human personality. Every child, every adult has four dimensions. There is the physical dimension, there is a mental or emotional dimension, there is an intellectual dimension, and there is a spiritual dimension. Now, modern psychologists agree these four dimensions are there. Krishna also talks about this in the Bhagavad Gita. The idea, understanding is that all of these dimensions have to function in harmony with each other. They have to be harmoniously functioning. Krishna says, Indriyani paranyahur, indriyabhyam param manaha, manasastu paro buddhir, yo buddhe paratastu saha. So he says there is a body, higher than the body is the mind, even greater than the mind is the intelligence, and even higher is the soul. So he also, whatever is there in modern understanding, everything is already there in our Vedic literatures. That's the amazing stuff about our Shastras. So the name harmonics comes from that. We want to harmonize the functioning of these four dimensions of human personality, right? So, um, and then our, if you have seen here, we also have a tagline called "Making Children Valuable." Right? We want to make every child valuable. Valuable is also an acronym. It stands for these, nine qualities that we want to develop in children. So we want every child to become virtuous. Virtuous means, having wonderful good qualities that I spoke about. Altruistic means generous, right? Then lively, joyful, contented, happy, satisfied, like that. Then unique. Every child has his or her own unique potential. So we want children to be able to engage in activities, even maybe occupation, in line with their psychophysical natures. Psychophysical means mind body system. Okay, so we want them to pursue engagements in that line. So we want to understand, we do assessments. I mean, we do a lot of things. So based on that, we can bring about the unique potential of a child. Then we want a child to become empathetic, no, understanding, very gentle, like that, and austere. Many parents complain that their children are not disciplined properly. So we want a child to become disciplined, balanced. These four dimensions, they should be able to balance these four dimensions, and a lover of God, God loving, and energy of God loving. Ecophile means one who loves the environment. The environment is the energy of Krishna. No, he tells that. So, Bhumirapo nalo vayu kammano buddhirevacha ahankara itiyam me bhinna prakriti rashtada. He's saying these are my 8 energies, separated energies. He says so. We want to develop in children all of these qualities. So over these years, many years, we have developed a 15-year curriculum, structured, systematic, objectives-based curriculum for children, for developing our children. So, you can see there are 3 levels: Pauganda, Kaishora, Yavana. Pauganda is basically 6 to 10-year children. Kaishora is 11 to 15 years. Yavana is 16 to 20 years. So a child can enter when the child is 6 years and go all the way up to the child is 20 years. In each level, we focus on different things. In Pauganda, we focus primarily on knowledge development. In Kaishora, primarily on values development. In Yavana, on skills development. Day to day, this world skills like AI, or programming or whatever, these this day skills, we train children on those things also. So you can see level 1 to level 5 of Pauganda, level 1 to level 5 of Kaishora, level 1 to level 5 of Yavana, like this 15 years, 6 years up to 20 years. And we have developed this curriculum through a lot of research. During the orientation presentation, I showed what kind of research we have done. So all of those things, we have used modern technologies that they use in academic institutions, like you can see ADDIE model, Bloom's taxonomy, and all of these things. So we have developed the curriculum based on that. And this program, for each age group, we have different sections. Different sections are there. So for Pauganda, we have Vedic stories and values education. For Kaishora, we have values education and Indian philosophy studies, knowledge. So actually, this is a structured study of the Bhagavad Gita, but in a lot of fun, with a lot of fun. In a fun way, they will learn, visual presentations, videos, discussions, activities, project work, like that. All our sessions are like that, very interactive, highly engaging for children. That's for Kaishora. For Yavana, we have life skills and Indian philosophy studies. So these are the primary sections. And then we also have Bhagavad Gita shloka recitation and memorization, bhajans, learning of Vedic hymns like Venkatesha Stotra, Suprabhata, like that, and Bhakti Sadachar, Sad Achar, Sat Achar. Achara means actions, Sat means proper, virtuous, good qualities, good actions, like that. So, this is the Veda program. The details and all that, probably Prasadeshwar Prabhu will talk to you about the structure, syllabus, all of those things. In a nutshell, this is what the program is all about. So, we have discussed what the next steps are. So, you can see here um, some of the parents who are part of harmonics through different initiatives, you can see what they are saying. Like Sham Sundar Prabhu, a parent, he's saying harmonics is consistently nurturing these kids with a practical approach to current life skills, yet connecting them to our rich traditions. I'm not trying to blow my trumpet here, but these are some testimonials by parents. Vaishali Mataji, she's saying kids at such a young age are assimilating this knowledge. Having received this knowledge at such a young age, I'm sure they will grow into good human beings and wonderful devotees. Anusha
Yes,
Mataji
yes.
is saying our powerful scriptures are taught wonderfully, where children can understand and apply the teachings. This will surely help them in their personal and professional life. So, if we build a good foundation for them, fundamental foundation for them, then their personal lives, their professional lives, everything will become seamless. All right. So, the art of parenting is very, very simple. The art of parenting is just connecting, act as a guru and connect your children to Krishna, to bhakti, to spiritual activities. That is all. The rest of the things will automatically be taken care of. Okay. So, through this program, also, we are trying to add value and join hands with you in your quest to connect your child with the Supreme, with spiritual activities, devotional activities. So we just want to enhance. We are not going to replace that, or nor are we going to say that, oh, you outsource this to you. Children primarily learn at home. Whatever they learn outside is only additional. Primarily, they pick up their life skills, life attitudes. All of these things they pick up from home. So you have to model that good behavior, and you also have to train them. It is not sufficient just to model good behavior. We have to engage them in systematic training on these things. All right. So with that, I'll stop. If we have any questions, I will take questions. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. La Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Babaji. Thank you so much. So, devotees, you have anybody got any questions, comments? Please take the mic. Yes, bye. Can come here.
అదా జూమ్ పేరెంటింగ్ క్లాస్ ఎలా పిల్లల్ని పెంచాలి.
One second, who's online? Can mute them. Okay, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Balari Das Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, today you have very nicely explained about the art of parenting. I have just one two questions or doubts. One is in Kali Yuga, like parents are, even though they are not spiritually elevated, but how to cultivate kids the spiritual path, so that because it is based on the association of the association, whether they have good friends or good parents, whatever the qualities they are getting from the association.
Right.
So, parents are not in spiritual life, but some kids they get good qualities because of association. It is also vice versa. The second question is like Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was when he was child, his father was Asura. But even though he got he acquired good qualities, even though his parents were not having any good qualities, but even though because of the Lord's mercy, he got a good association. It is because of like it is a mercy, or it is Because or you can follow like family tradition. Sometimes parents are not good, but children become very good and they acquire good qualities without their parents' association. So, how it is possible?
So your answer is in your question only, Prabhu. So I was telling, right, Ajamila, Ashwathama and all that. Prabhupada in one place, he explains in one lecture, he says that, Prabhupada used to struggle a lot in the beginning days. He himself used to type and then typeset and proofread, go to the printer, get the paper, buy the paper, give to the printer. So many things Prabhupada used to do. And he himself would get the books printed, the Back to Godhead magazines, and then he would only go to the post office to post those books, right? So one of the postmasters in Delhi, in the post office, he was an Arya Samaji, and he asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, why are you struggling so much? Why do you have to do all these things? Just stop, no? I don't think you are making any money out of this. So then Prabhupada told, no. This is Krishna's desire. I want to please the Lord. So therefore, I am doing this. Then that postmaster told, why you have to worship Krishna or the Lord, or God? You don't have to. After all, God is only your karma pradayaka. If you do good, he will give you good. If you do bad, he'll give you bad. So why do you have to engage in bhakti, like that? So Prabhupada very beautifully explained to him that many times we see very virtuous people who are of very high moral standards, they slip and fall down. The reason is because they are not situated on the devotional or spiritual plane. Spiritual plane is where you don't slip and fall, right? So the examples that I gave, Ajamila, not a very elevated devotee, he was a Brahmana, good qualities, virtuous, all of those things. Ashwatthama, not a devotee, very highly exalted parentage, very highly situated also, very well trained. He was almost equal to Arjuna in his training. So they had all those good qualities, but because they didn't have a very deep connection with the Lord, therefore they slipped and fell down. So Krishna is telling exactly that mam cheva vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan. So they will be they will be able to overcome the effects of these three modes of material nature, and Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. They'll be situated on a platform from where they will not fall down. So exactly what you have told, the example that you have given. So I gave Ajamila and Ashwatthama as examples. They fell down because they were not situated in bhakti. Prahlad Maharaj, despite all the bad association, he only got the association of Narad Muni when he was in his womb, in his mother's womb. He had not even met Narad Muni after that. That association held him together for his entire life, right? So despite being surrounded by rakshasas, by asuric tendencies, asuric activities, asuric mindsets, asuric people, including his father, his teachers, his classmates, he was able to influence, not only protect himself, but even influence others to become like him, virtuous, devoted, like that. So only on the platform of bhakti we will be able to protect the good qualities that we have developed. Because Krishna says, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. I will preserve what you have and provide what you lack. Remember this, everybody. Preserve what you have. Krishna is telling that. I do that. Preserve what you have and provide what you lack. What you don't have, I will give. What you already have, I will protect. Krishna is saying this. So it is only on the platform of bhakti that we can overcome the horrible influences that are there around us today. So parents, of course, our parents are worthy of respect, no doubt about that. So we have to, whatever good, bad, they are, they are our parents. Prabhupada actually told his disciples like that. You have to respect your parents as much as you respect me. Prabhupada said like that. He told his disciples, you have to respect your parents as much as you respect me. But if they give demoniac instructions, do things which are against Shastric injunction, you don't have to listen to that. But respect, you have to. Right? So, yeah, parents' influence may not be right. Distractions are there. Only through the power of bhakti, only by connecting them with Krishna, will we be able to protect the consciousness of our children. Okay, Prabhu, does that answer your question?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, he's saying yes. Anyone else? Any questions, comments? Anyone? No? Okay. So, Prabhuji, I have a question.
Yes,
Like,
Prabhu.
now, we are in such a, as you also mentioned that we are in such a fast mode. Both parents are working. We are, making our children to build a career.
Hmm.
I was talking to one parent recently, the child is in first standard.
Hmm.
Both parents 1 week did not get out of the house, but the child want to pass the exam or score high marks for first standard.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so how do we kind of, I don't know, educate or how do we kind of tell them? Because they don't even listen. They said, Prabhu, you also done. So don't tell me that. Now I have to train my child.
Okay. So, I mean, we can't, go to either extreme. Of course, academic education is also essential. Even in our Gurukul, there was psychophysical based occupational training also. They were also trained in virtues. Like, in Gurukuls, they would determine, okay, this child has Brahmanical tendencies. So, what is a Brahmana's function? Patan, Patan, Yajan, Yajan, Dana, Pratigraha. So, they will be trained in all of those aspects. And also, so that is their occupational thing. And then they will also be trained in virtues, in Shastra, in so many other devotional things also. Then you take Kshatriya. Kshatriya will be trained in warfare, will be trained in, say, Dharma Shastra, Artha Shastra, will be trained in how to even punish criminals, subjects who disobey, like that. So all of those aspects, they are occupational aspects, how to tax, how not to tax, all of these things. And at the same time, they will also be trained on restraint. How on the battlefield you'll have to be chivalrous. The dharma of being a kshatriya, being a good human being, being a good devotee, devoted to the Parabrahman. Now, all of these things they will be trained on. Vaishyas also do business, do your actual business also, which will take you out of this material world. So, we have to create a balance between these two extremes. We should not go towards the extreme of only academics, 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 nor only bhakti, bhakti, bhakti. Both are dangerous. Because tomorrow, if we say only bhakti, 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 the child will come of age to get into this world, will not know how to actually relate to people or understand what is going on in this world. They will come back and blame the parents. They'll say, you ruined my life. You didn't train me properly. Now, what do I do? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Right? So, not either extreme, but a balance of everything. So, somehow, I think we should, um, if we go and tell that parent, no, 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 this is very important, this is more important, like that, then they'll probably, everybody has a little rebellious tendency. So they will say, oh, no, no, Prabhuji, like what that parent said, hey, you have done for your children. So I have to do, like that. So on the other hand, we'll have to talk about the virtue, the uh, the importance of balancing everything in life, not swaying towards either extreme. So we'll have to tell, yes, yes, that is important. I agree that is important, but not at the cost of something else. No, you cannot say, yeah, yeah, sleep is very essential, but sleep alone is not essential, right? There are also other essential things. You'll have to take bath, you'll have to eat. So just because sleep is essential, you'll keep only sleeping all through. You'll have to maintain a balance, right? So maybe 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours you sleep. Then rest of the time you'll have to get ready. You'll have to cleanse yourself. Then you'll have to eat. So maintenance of the body requires multiple aspects. Or you cannot see, no, food is the only important thing. I will do only that, right? So we see that whenever a person is pulled to one extreme or operates on one extreme, the other extreme will hit back. People who have been only work, overworking, spending maybe 16 hours working, and they die early or get a heart attack or something like that. They'll get struck by anxiety or something, right? So, or they miss out on the good things in life, the most fundamental things in life. So, there has to be a balance in everything. Ultimately, Krishna's instruction is the best. He says, Samatvam Yoga Muchyate. You Yukta Ahara, Yukta Viharasya, Yukta Cheshtasya Karmasu, Yukta Swapnava Bodhasya, Yogo Bhavati Dukkha. He very beautifully he says, don't eat too much, don't eat too less also. Yukta ahara, so not too much eating, not too less eating. Yukta vihara also he says, you need entertainment. So he's saying not too much entertainment. You vihara means entertainment, and not too little entertainment also. Some optimal level of entertainment is required for every human being. Yukta ahara, yukta vihara, yukta cheshtasya karmasu. Not too much work, nor too little work also. Then yukta swapnava bodhasya. Not too much sleeping, not too less sleeping. You follow a balanced, optimal way of life. Then yogo bhavati. You'll achieve that situation of yoga, being connected with the Lord completely. And dukkha, you'll chase away dukkha from your life. So we'll have to somehow explain to them the importance of the balancing act, walking the tightrope, like a tightrope walker. So we have to explain to them the art of balancing everything in life, not getting pulled to extremes. So we'll have to talk to them about how this is also important. That is important, no doubt about that. But this is also important. Understand the fundamental necessity for this also. So we'll have to explain to them, okay, when the child has exams, yeah, let the child focus. Like in harmonics also, our programs, when the child comes to 10th standard, 12th standard, by November, I tell, please stop coming for the classes. I myself tell, we ourselves, our mentors tell, you focus on your academics. 6 months, focus on that, do well, come back. That's why our kids, most of our kids score very, very well in academics also. So during the orientation, I showed they all perform very well, not like average, above average and excellent. Some of them 95%, 96% like that. So when we teach children the fundamentals properly, then on that they can build every aspect of life. They can build their academics very well, occupation very well, engagements very well, their relationships very well, because we have given them a solid foundation. On that they can build everything very nicely. But if this foundation is wobbly, is weak, then everything else also will be like that. It will become a struggle for them. They may achieve things, earn money, build two bungalows, have 5 cars, one Mercedes, one Audi, and all that. But internally, they'll be hollow. They'll be hollow. And we don't want to leave our children like that, as hollow personalities, empty personalities. We want our children to be lively, joyful, contented, satisfied people. Tushtaha, santushtaha. Tushtaha means satisfied, santushtaha means happy, joyful. We want our children to be like that. So build the foundation properly. And on that, you train them to build whatever else they want.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. We'll take one more question. Before that,
Yes.
it's 50. We have another session coming up. Okay, 1 second.
Hare Krishna. So,
Hare Krishna Mataji.
all the rituals at home will be in Sanskrit. All shlokas are in Sanskrit. And when you quote a shloka in between, it is so attractive and appealing to everybody. And I always wonder, what's the importance of Sanskrit in spirituality? Instead of trying them to take a page, okay, we are teaching them to fish. If we give them Sanskrit rituals. How do you place the importance of Sanskrit in training?
Wonderful question.
Because
Thank you for asking that question, Mataji.
whatever Krishna says is available to us in Sanskrit.
Right, right. Today morning, I was listening to one Prabhupada's class. You're saying even 500 years ago, the common lingua franca of the world, lingua franca means the language through which the entire world commonly communicates. Okay, like today it is English. English is the lingua franca of the world. But even 500 years ago, it was apparently Sanskrit. And Prabhupada is saying, this is our culture. Sanskrit is not some dominion based, domicile based, state based language. Oh, it is only from North India and all that. I'm, currently in Tamil Nadu. Here's a big hangama over, oh no, Sanskrit is North Indian language. We are Dravidians. We speak Tamil and this is imposition of Sanskrit. Arey Baba, Sanskrit has been there everywhere. Yeah. Prabhupada is saying, whenever our acharyas have written, they've written in Sanskrit only. Of course, Tamil was there. Who is saying Sanskrit is going to replace Tamil? You can't have your father and your chikappa and a mama. If father is the only relationship in your life is only father, the only male or female in only mother, no grandmother, no aunt, nothing. So if you have relationship with Tamil, you cannot have relationship with Sanskrit also. So the Prabhupada is saying, you see acharyas from the south, Madhvacharya wrote in Sanskrit. Ramanujacharya wrote in Sanskrit. Ramanujacharya is from Tamil Nadu. Madhvacharya is from Karnataka. Shankaracharya is from Kerala, wrote in Sanskrit. Right? You take so many devotees, so many acharyas, all of them, the common language is Sanskrit. Why? Because it is the language of the Lord. In Vaikuntha, they speak in Samskrita. Right? So that is one thing. That's the Vedic cultural understanding of Sanskrit. Now let's come to modern analysis. I told during the orientation also about this. A group of Canadian and British scientists, not Indian scientists, British and Canadian scientists a few years ago, they were doing a linguistic analysis, linguistic impact on brain development. We all talk, right? We all communicate, we think, we dream in a particular language. Language is a very important aspect of human existence, right? So these scientists wanted to study the impact of language on the brain development, brain functioning like that. So of all the primary most important languages they studied, they found out that only the Sanskrit language has a cognitive level impact on the brain. I will explain what I'm saying. I'm maybe using some technical terms. So they say that by memorizing Sanskrit shlokas, they called it the Sanskrit effect. You can go on Google and search for this Sanskrit effect. Okay. So they found out that by memorizing Sanskrit shlokas, the prefrontal cortex of the brain, the prefrontal cortex is the portion of the brain that is right behind our forehead. No, the front portion, prefrontal cortex, it is called. This portion of the brain is responsible for all cognitive functions. What do I mean by cognitive functions? It's like memory, decision making, logical thinking, analytical abilities. All of these are called cognitive functions. Basically, all the data memory related functioning of the brain, this prefrontal cortex takes care of. Behind the prefrontal cortex is the amygdala. Amygdala is the emotional part of the brain. Okay. In children, the prefrontal cortex is not developed. So then how do they decide? Decision making, you may ask a question, Prabhuji, you said, but decision making is done by prefrontal cortex. If it is not developed, how do they decide? How do they choose things? So scientists say the amygdala actually helps in decision making until the prefrontal cortex develops, which is between the age of 20 to 25. Okay. So it takes that much time for the prefrontal cortex to develop. So until then, the emotional part of the brain is driving their decision making, is driving their analysis, is driving their logical abilities. Oh, emotion behind decision, disaster. Disaster, because if I decide emotionally, not rationally, I'm definitely going to make a mistake. Right? So therefore, now what these scientists found out, so prefrontal cortex, therefore, is very important. So what these scientists found out is by memorizing Sanskrit shlokas, the prefrontal cortex of the brain increases in physical size by up to 25%, thereby enhancing the cognitive ability of a person by up to 40%. That means my memory improves by up to 40%, my decision making ability improves by up to 40%, my analytical ability improves by up to 40%, just by memorizing Sanskrit shlokas. If this is such a simple thing, why will I not engage my child in this? I want my child to be able to decide well, analyze things well, be logical, have good memory. Here is a solution. This is a reason why in the Vedic times our Gurukuls emphasized on Bhagavad Gita, shloka recitation, memorization, like that. And this is a reason why in harmonics we mandatorily emphasize on Bhagavad Gita shloka recitation and memorization. So thank you, Mataji, for asking that question. So this is an appeal to all the parents. Please engage your child in learning Sanskrit. You are doing a great good for them, for their lives. Okay. So I'm not saying this. this is a verdict of not even Indian scientists. Some Western scientists, they wanted to study all the languages, and they, by chance, they figured out that Sanskrit has this kind of an effect or impact on us, right? So, Mataji, hope I've answered your question.
Yes, she's saying yes. So thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your valuable time. Just for the information of the audience here, Prabhuji is going to be physically here October 1st to October 5th. Everybody can take advantage of it. And of course, the evening time, you personally want to meet Prabhuji, interact, maybe, I don't know, it's busy schedule. We'll try to see what best we can do. So that the intention is that, you see, Prabhu has dedicated his life for this. I mean, one thing I'm telling you, Prabhu is not charging anything for this and is giving you free. What does it mean? Why should anybody spend his time traveling on the way, staying here, spend this time? So that the people, somebody get a benefit of it. So that sacrifice is doing it. So let's take full advantage of it. And also my humble request, spread this message to as many parents as possible. Let everybody get the benefit. Because we are not here to make money, we are here to serve the society. Prabhupada movement and Prabhuji has made this very, very structured syllabus, and of course, as he rightly said, more than 25 years of experience he has put that. So my humble request, let's take full advantage of it and spread this message as many people as possible. So thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you for your valuable time.
Thank you so
We'll
much.
definitely do that.
Thank
And thanks to
Thank you, all the
all.
devotees, for being part of this discussion. It was wonderful to interact with all of you. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Guruji. Hare Krishna. Okay, so let's chant once one Hare Krishna mantra for Prabhu's spiritual advancement, and also, so that we can do this service more for people to come.
Very required, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Keep in touch.
I'll take leave, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.